आरार्त्रिकम् ॐ ह्रीं एषा दीपमाला सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः। ॐ राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साहिरे नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः। कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। आरात्रिकं समर्पयामि भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव चरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। पुष्पांजलिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्मसम्प्राप्तकर्मबन्धविदाहिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदान्येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। मन्नाथ श्री जगन्नाथो मद्गुरु श्री जगद्गुरुः ममात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। पुष्पांजलिं समर्पयामि भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव चरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। ओम नित्यानंदम्
स्वामी ओम जय नित्यानंद। षडंग योगो नयतः सुसाध्यो सुलभो न यस्मात् ज्ञान सुलभो न यस्मात् गरीयसि ध्यानरतः कलौ स्यात् गरीयसि ध्यानरतः कलौ स्यात् तज्ज्ञापकस्त्वं नित्या स्वामी ओम जय नित्यानंद। ओम जय नित्यानंद स्वामी जय जय नित्यानंद। लोकनाथ स्थिताकाशो भगवान् कलिकल्मषमग्नानां नित्या उत्तारणचिकीर्षया स्वामी ओम जय नित्यानंद। ध्यायन्ति गायन्ति नमन्ति नित्यं ब्रह्म विष्णु शिवदेवा नित्य ब्रह्म विष्णु शिवदेवा। तै प्रार्थितस्तस्य परावतारो तै प्रार्थितस्तस्य परावतारो विबाहुधारी नित्या स्वामी ओम जय नित्यानंद। ओम जय नित्यानंद स्वामी जय जय नित्यानंद। लोकनाथ स्थिताकाशो भगवान् कलिकल्मषमग्नानां नित्या उत्तारणचिकीर्षया स्वामी ओम जय नित्यानंद। वन्दे जगद्बीजमखण्डमेकं सुरैर्सेवितपादपीठं नित्यसेवितपादपीठम्। वन्दे भवेशं भवरोगवैद्यं वन्दे भवेशं भवरोगवैद्यं तमेव वन्दे नित्यं स्वामी ओम जय नित्यानंद। ओम जय नित्यानंद स्वामी जय जय नित्यानंद। लोकनाथ स्थिताकाशो भगवान् कलिकल्मषमग्नानां नित्या उत्तारणचिकीर्षया स्वामी ओम जय नित्यानंद। ज्ञान ध्यान तृप्ताय
श्री श्री नित्यानंद स्वामी की जय।
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyanandam, welcome back. We just went through a beautiful segment on Pratyaksh Pada Puja. Now we'll be moving on to today's topic in introduction into the lifestyle of KAILASA. Till yesterday, we were looking at how we can manifest extraordinary health through Hinduism and how Paramashivoham is the ultimate possibility to get the best of Hinduism, to manifest ultimate health through various processes, including power manifestation. Now, we'll be looking at a very special topic, how Hinduism gives us a way to access more than 460 powers. Now, let us look at the past. Let us look at the past few million years. In the past few million years, there have been 5 major extinctions which happened on planet Earth. One of the most biggest destructions was during the Permian Triassic extinction around 250 million years ago. Despite several of these extinctions, life continued to exist on planet Earth and continued to keep evolving. Now let us look at the Permian Triassic extinction, which killed so much life on planet Earth that it is also known as the Great Dying. Almost no form of life was spared by this extinction, which caused the disappearance of more than 95% of marine species and 70% of land-dwelling vertebrates. So many species were wiped out by this mass extinction. It took more than 10 million years to recover from this huge blow to the global biodiversity. This extinction is thought to be the result of a gradual change in climate, followed by a sudden catastrophe. Causes including volcanic eruptions, asteroids, impacts, and a sudden release of greenhouse gases from the seafloor have been proposed. We do not know the exact reason of any of these extinctions, but we know a major part of life was wiped off the planet Earth. Despite these 5 great extinctions that the world has seen, life continues on planet Earth, even when 95% of life was wiped off the planet Earth. Life continuously expanded and kept adapting to environment and evolving. Now, this is where evolution comes into place. Evolution has supported us, is the reason why we have survived 5 major extinctions as human beings, as species, as organisms. We have the ability to evolve, to adapt to our environment. This brings us to a very important and interesting aspect of our genetics, the epigenetics. We are not the victims of our genes. We have been wrongly taught that, for example, if the color of our eye is blue, it is just because of our genes. Yes, that is true. But genes, although they decide how our body is going to be, genes are not hard-coded in a way that they cannot be changed. There is a part of our gene which are the non-coding genes 99% of our genes are non-coding genes, which do not help in providing instructions for making proteins, which means if 1% of the genes dictate details of our bodies, like how our eye color should be, how we should look, and those aspects, 99% of the genes are non-coding genes. So what do these genes really do? These genes can be, a part of these genes can be consciously switched on and off to enable expression of some characteristics, switching them on or off. 99% of our genes are non-coding, which do not help in providing instructions for making proteins. Once these genes were wrongly categorized as junk genes, today it is understood as factors making it possible for switching on and off expression of certain genes and dimensions of our capabilities as living organisms. Now, the science of how these genes are switched on and off has been recently understood, and this new field of epigenetics has evolved from there. But what we need to understand is that there are two aspects. Number one, our genes are a totality of our biological evolution from various species, starting from a small species like amoeba, if not exactly amoeba, some singular cellular structure like amoeba, going forward to some complex species like a fish, like a tortoise, moving on to a monkey-like, ape-like body, and evolving further to a human-like body. What we must understand that there's a biological aspect of this evolution where the environment, our surroundings, have encouraged us to adapt to this and then evolve our bodies as time progressed, as these various catastrophes happened, these five great extinctions happened, as we just saw. Now, there is another aspect to it. One is the biological evolution. Second is adapting to the environment. And third is consciously switching your genes on or off. We have power over our genes. We are not victims of our genes. We can consciously switch our genes on and off. And no wonder species, organisms survived these five great extinctions because they had the conscious possibility of altering their genes and evolving themselves. Our evolution is not accidental. Our evolution is not just merely a response to adapting to the changes of the environment, the external changes. Our genes is a conscious power manifestation. Our genes are a totality of biological evolution, adaptation to the environment, external environment, and the power manifestation done by our ancestor species all the way leading us throughout these millions of years. It is the science of power manifestation that life has survived, as Paramashiva has given us the possibility to adapt our genes, to alter our genes, where consciousness over matter is applies and we can alter our genes at will. This science has been recently understood in the field of epigenetics. Let's take an example. We understand that the DNA is a helical structure where it is coiled, and the two coils are connected with proteins, the RNA and DNA proteins connecting the two helical structures. Now, what we have recently understood that when an environment, our environment, subjects us to fear, this helical structure twists more and becomes compact. Whereas when we are in joy, happiness, energy, creativity, when we are expressing ourselves, this helical structure untangles. So many of the proteins which are bound with each other and closed linked, they suddenly open up and certain new abilities start expressing. We manifest higher creativity, higher abilities. This is what we understand as an impact of stress, fear, as an external impact on our gene, on our genes, on our DNA, on our genetical structure, which is a part of the study of epigenetics. Now, what we must understand, just as how fear can influence our genes, because when we are in fear, the hormones secreted in our blood travel from the cell, from our blood to our cellular membrane, and from our membrane come traveling to the nucleus and then influence our genes, our DNA, triggering them to either to respond in some or the other way as per what is coded in our genetics. The signal right from our blood being transferred to the cell walls, from the cell wall being transferred through other mechanism, through other proteins, through other means, and then from our cell membrane to the nucleus being transferred through other means, and from our nucleus engaging with our genes and then responding. This is how the environment is influencing our genes, and our genes behaving in a certain way depending on that environment is responding. Now, here is the very important aspect. There is no restriction on our fear, for example. We can always decide to remember Paramashiva, to remember the divine lotus feet of our Guru, and remember the ultimate truths, such as how Bhagavan Krishna has revealed in Bhagavad Gita that we are consciousness. We cannot be cut by the sword, we cannot be burnt by the fire, because we are consciousness. The soul cannot be burnt, cannot be cut, cannot be wet by water. With this understanding, suddenly we can control, or we can make our fear irrelevant. This simple example demonstrates how we have a will. Our will can change the environment, and from fear we can move on to a powerful state, and that will naturally influence our genes. In fear, when our genes were completely entangled, the helical structure becoming more entangled, suddenly with powerful cognitions, this entangling opens up. So we understand how our conscious will can very simply alter our genetics. What we need to understand is that throughout the millions of years, more than 300 million years, our ancestor species, right from single cellular amoeba all the way till human beings, we have always been manifesting powers, particularly the power of consciousness over the matter, and altering our genes as per need, as per requirement, as per our conscious will, and manifesting extraordinary abilities. The 99% of our genes, which are non-coding genes, carry the story of several powers that are unlocked in our beings. Bhagavan Paramashiva has mentioned more than 460 powers in Agamas, in the Veda Agamas, particularly in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Now, let us look at the possibilities it opens up. We were yesterday looking briefly in the life story of Devraha Baba, a superconscious mutant, a great ageless yogi who lived for more than 150 years. We know that Devraha Baba lived for more than 150 years. Around 1991, he attained Mahasamadhi and became one with the cosmos. Until that time, we had the president of various political parties going to him, bowing down to his feet and praying. such as we had the Gandhi family of Sonia Gandhi visiting Devraha Baba. We also had Rajiv Gandhi visiting Devraha Baba, and we also had the first president of India back in 1950s visiting Devraha Baba. We had Rajendra Prasad, the first president of India, visiting Devraha Baba for darshan. And as Dr. Rajendra Prasad has told, even his grandfather had visited Devraha Baba. This alone makes the lifespan, the duration, the age of Devraha Baba more than 120 years long. Our history, anecdotal references have revealed that Devraha Baba was more than 200 years old. It might be a shocking realization. It might be a shocking fact for many of us. We do not know his exact age, but surely we know he lived a long life, almost surely more than 150 years. Devraha Baba would casually walk on the water. It is said, as an extraordinary power manifester, he could walk on the water and show it as a very casual power demonstration to his disciples. He would go inside the water for hours together and be in samadhi and casually come out of water after hours together, after days, in fact. Such extraordinary powers Baba Devraha Baba manifested and lived amongst us. We have other great yogis like Kinaram Baba, who is attributed to be one of the founding fathers of Agora Sampradaya, a great power manifester who was known to have the ability to fly. We have millions of such examples of extraordinary power manifestors. What we need to understand is Bhagwan Paramashiva has revealed 460 powers in Agamas, such as Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. And all these powers are not just the glory of all our enlightened masters, they are our conscious possibility. All these powers leading us to the ultimate realization of oneness with Paramashiva. Not just some extraordinary feats or powers. These Shaktis are our way of realizing oneness with Paramashiva, realizing enlightenment. Bhagwan Paramashiva has revealed several powers. To list a few of them, such as the power of the third eye, the Anya Chakra, the ability to see blindfolded, remote vision, ability to see far off, or body scanning, ability to scan inside a human body and see what is happening. To look at few examples, we have seen videos of various balasans, initiated child monks of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, manifesting the power of ability to see blindfolded. We know in Mahabharata, Sanjay, with the power of remote vision, narrated the whole scene of the war of Mahabharata. The power of body scanning was used by our physicians like Shushruta, the great surgeon who is considered the father of modern surgery, recognized both by the indigenous Hindu civilization and also by the Western civilization as the father of surgery, how he could detect without any microscope 5 layers of a skin of a fetus inside the womb of his mother and describe this kind of detail in the scriptures, and also in detailed way describe how what kind of problems can happen in the skin which can lead to further complications later in life. Such details he was able to observe and record because of the power of body scanning. Then we have the power of consciousness over the matter, where we can, as we have seen, the disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism can roll coconut just by connecting in oneness with the coconut, manifesting the power of consciousness over matter. Now, in fact, this power of consciousness over matter is also the power of consciousness over DNA, where our ancestors, right from the amoeba to human beings, have been using the consciousness over matter power to change the DNA throughout more than 250 million years. We have other powers like changing the pulse rate, reading the Akashic records, the space, the Akasha dimension, which reveals past, present, and future. The powers of Anima, Mahima, Lagima, Garima, the Ashtamaha-siddhis, the power of increasing size, decreasing size, the power of will exerted over nature, the power of changing temperature, the power of materialization, and several other powers. Now let us watch a short video on demonstration of a few of such powers.
He's wearing a grey jacket. His name is Boris, and he has one of Swamiji's Rudraksh Mala inside. And he's inside his shirt color is kind of like a bluish color with a greyish bluish collar.
A little girl with remarkable gifts.
Be prepared to be amazed.
Then the blue, then the yellow, then the like a donut.
Wonderful.
2 years ago, I met 9-year-old Mayoga Mata.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
And she demonstrated an ability to read while blindfolded.
Can you tell me what this word says?
Love.
Wow.
She's now 11.
It's so weird seeing Ma Yoga Mata on stage up there because she looks so much older than from the last time I saw her, but from what I understand, her powers have developed too. So we're gonna go check out what she can do now.
Alright, so 30 seconds.
Before our interview, she was on stage with others who demonstrate the same abilities.
Just to look around. When you wear the blindfold, just take a look at this, alright? Your physical eyes go inside these holes and you can open your eyes. You've got thick foam all around, especially in the bridge of the nose. We only wear it without obstructing our nose, that's all. So let's get started. You're going to know more only when you experience it. May I have 2 volunteers on stage? Somebody is willing to try it? How about we make him try it on first? Right. By the way, what is your name?
You can hold it.
Comfy? Okay.
Not
Are you
moving,
able to
yeah.
see anything?
No, I'm not able to see anything.
Oh, your ears.
My ear is stuck. It's up.
All right. You're not able to see anything?
No, I can't see anything.
Your eyes are open inside?
Open and it's completely dark.
Okay, great.
Now that we tested the blindfolds, it was her turn to show us what she could do, but not until we gave her one final okay.
See, we never ever proceed with the demonstration without the person telling us, okay, go ahead. So you check if it is aligned to the center, you are comfortable with it. Test all you want before you give me a go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, it's impossible. There's no way you can see.
Okay, great. So now, why don't we start by giving us things to read, see, even your cell phones or any such thing, it's perfectly fine.
Okay.
It looks like something long with a barcode on it.
Yeah, yep. The barcode is facing you.
Do you want me to read it?
That's fine.
I can take it.
Oh,
and
sure,
read it.
sure, yeah.
Oh, it's a little lip balm which is called, is this yours?
Yeah.
It's like Ladybug Jane.
Yeah.
I asked because
Can you see the flavor?
it's purple in color and says Ultra Moisturizing Balm, Luxury Lip Care. It's 100% natural and vegan. And I think the flavor is Groovy Grape.
Amazing. But we've seen that before. One thing I hadn't seen, people moving objects without touching them, like this guy.
That's so weird. As he moves his head that way, the coconut's moving with him that way. That's so weird. Oh my god!
When we finally meet again, Ma Yoga Mata explains to me how he's able to do that.
See, mind is not what we use when we're doing any of these powers. It is just the third eye power that we use.
With your third eye. And this is a coconut. I hear the water in there. There's like no, I mean, it's not robotic or anything. It's a real coconut.
This powder is just removing matter. It's not the coconut or your hand or whatever. It's just matter. Whatever matter is kept in front of us, we move it.
My Yoga Mata, one of the things you were doing in there was you were body scanning.
Yes.
And tell me how that works, because I know one woman was really shocked by her results. Maha Yogi knew that she had anemia and too much estrogen production. It was really amazing.
The body scanning is just seeing through the third eye. In the ancient times, we never had anything like a CT scan and different scans like this. But it's just a third eye that you just see and scan and tells you what is the solution for your problems.
Okay, so the last time you and I met, we did a third eye reading, right? Of course, where I blindfolded you and you were able to read and draw everything that I drew. Can we this time do a body scan?
Yes.
Okay, let's try it. And just a total disclaimer, you don't know anything about my medical history. Okay. Do I have to do anything?
No.
Okay.
So basically, the first problem I was able to see was there is a bit too much of bile in your stomach. The layer that will be in your stomach, that first layer, that is starting to wear away. Too much of acid also in your stomach.
Oh wow, okay.
And the second thing I was able to see was you sometimes have this kind of pain in your neck and shoulders. That is one thing I was able to
shoulder.
see.
I just had shoulder surgery.
Oh.
Yeah.
And there's dehydration in your body. Less water component in your body.
Definitely today. We've been shooting all day and I haven't drank anything. Okay.
And sometimes your feet, like they strain a lot. Maybe because of the shoes you
That's
wear
true.
or something. Your feet always strain a lot.
That's true. Yesterday they were hurting a lot, actually. Wow, okay.
So basically everything is due to lack of water in your body.
Even the bile, everything.
Yes, everything is because of lack of water. Your stomach, your pain. So you would need to take more of water and different nutritions like fruits, vegetables and stuff like that.
Okay. Is there anything more serious that you see? Heart condition, anything like that?
No, I don't see anything serious. It's just these minor problems that's just affecting your body.
Okay.
But if you don't attend to these can become bigger problems.
They'll lead to that later.
Okay, so just dehydration and a bit of shoulder pain. Not very revealing. But then again, thankfully, I don't have anything more serious for her to find.
So, tell me what you see when you're looking at my body.
See, how it appears different to each and every single balasant. So, for me, how I'm able to see when I scan your body is, it shows like outline and then I'm able to see like either a red dot wherever you have a problem. And then it's literally like I can just click on it and I can see what the problem is in detail.
Okay. Is there anything you want to add that I haven't asked?
Well, basically all these powers is available to anybody on this world. In this world, anybody who wants to manifest, well, Swamiji says, if you have a head, you have a third eye. So obviously with the third eye only, you can manifest these powers. Anybody, you or the people who's walking around right here, even they can manifest these powers just by a touch or just by the initiation of Swamiji.
Okay, great. We'll put a link to that so that people know how to find it.
I guess you don't have to be a superhero to have superpowers. While I can't verify anything, I'm always willing to believe. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.
We just saw a demonstration of some extraordinary powers by few initiated disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Now let us come back to the subject. We have 460 powers, more than any other mutant. We have 460 powers more than any mutant. How we see in the modern depiction of mutants, almost scary, almost frightening. The kind of mutants which are demonstrated in the Hollywood movies or in the series, in television series, on web series, is a depiction of mutants in a very frightening way, manifesting the lower powers related to just matter. However, what we fail to understand that we human beings have the possibility of manifesting 460 powers as revealed by Bhagwan Paramashiva, which is much more than any mutant, how it is depicted in various fictional works on television, in Hollywood, and web series. These 460 powers have been revealed by Bhagwan Paramashiva in the Vijnana Bhairav Tantra and the Agamas. These 460 powers have the possibility, awaken the possibility of leading us directly to enlightenment. And awakening of these powers is possible by just a simple initiation of the avatar, our Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Now, let us watch a short video where we will see how the power of initiation can change our basic neurology.
I'll describe yesterday's research we have done. First, we hooked one of our senior brahmacharini, Ma Nitya Supriyananda, in the EEG mission. It's a remote control machine. The scientist, Dr. Kanak Pandey, she is working on the field of neurofeedback. Come on, Supriya, up! Oh. She said is unimaginable. I have never seen anything like this in my 26 years of experience. She is the founder member of Indian chapter of ISNR. And her name is Dr. Kanak Pandey.
Myself, I'm Dr. Kanak Pandey. I'm a psychologist by practice and my profession is psychologist. Since '84, I have clinic. Now for last 10 years, we are into neurofeedback and biofeedback. Neurofeedback, again, a brain training system that trains brain for better attainment, for better regularization, because the brain has 4 ability. Continuous to heal.
So you're in the field of the brain for years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So brain has the natural capability to heal. Even if we don't teach anything, it heals itself, it regulates, and it is changing all the time, and it is improving all the time. That's why children learn to do so many things. Even if we don't do anything, they learn to walk, talk, sing, balance, do very fine things. But in life, with so many things, we lose these plasticity. So we forget to regulate, we forget to again heal, we start becoming sick or ailing or start having poor ability to learn new things. Cognitive abilities are going. So neurofeedback trains brain for that thing, and it's an amazing technique the Swami is showing here that is really beyond my capability to understand. I'm trying to, but really I've never seen this type of thing.
And the first study is normally when she's normal, how the brain is working. We found she has a brain. Second, it's working normally. Third, when the Kundalini was awakened at the exact moment, the researcher, the scientist, doctor, she says, Swamiji, the awakened state is intensely expressed. Same way, the deep sleep state is also intensely expressed. She says the gamma wave, which goes down very low, like a 1, 2 and all, during sleep, deep sleep, it has gone almost less than 1.42. She says this means there is no outer world information getting processed. The cognition is completely stopped. She says only during the deep sleep or the high sedative can only create this kind of state. She says if I see only the monitor, I will say she is sleeping. But I can't say that now because I am seeing she is jumping. On the other side, extreme wakefulness. She says that wakefulness and let you guys see the original video of her own explanation. She says, I should not make any technical mistake in technical terms, that's why I am just briefing you. She says that wakeful state is something extraordinary. She can't even express immediately because she has never seen anything like this. She says the energy level, not just 1000%, 1000 times more. Another important point she says is, when I gave instruction for the brahmachari to levitate, she says first the instruction is being processed in the brain, means the brain is being convinced about the instruction. It is not like a hypnotism or mesmerism, straight away bulldozing and it is being executed. No. The negotiation goes on between the instruction and the brain, and brain gets convinced, and then the expression starts happening. She says very clearly the whole thing is.
And if this, the good thing is this, it can be implemented to masses. Ours is 1-to-1. I'll work with 1, 2 and 3rd and 4th. And if
I can actually do for at least 1000-2000 people at a time.
So if it can reach to many people, if he's doing for 1000 people and it just works for 10% people, I'm a scientist so I'll talk on that percentage basis. Even if it works for 10% people, that will be a great help to society. So finding here is very amazing. Really we have got the thing, on baseline and in activation it has gone up to 1000 times.
Wow.
1000 times. Now we need to calibrate
1000% or 1000 times?
1000 times. So we need to calibrate this with others, finding what actually it means. When we have never seen those readings, so we don't know what brain can do if it reaches to that thing. Because beyond our limit, we say only up to this limit. And if you start hearing up to 2 times time, we don't know what you can hear. We don't know, we can't understand that. So if your brain is having capacity of that, we really have to understand what actually you can do. So we need to understand. We can just only predict something or guesswork, a simple guesswork. Okay, I'm doing by 1, I'm doing 1. If you attain 2, you will be able to do. But no, brain is amazing. If you can attain 2, you may be doing 1000 things. We are very not sure. So we need to see some research work, some other awakening things, and something to understand this data. What I suggest from my experience, that you can calibrate it by experiences. what actually you felt differently when you have attained this. Because you understand your body the best. You understand your brain the best. So what good, what not so good, what very bad you experienced, you thought, and what type of confidence you got, what type of, say, nervousness you got, anything. Just get anything, whatever you get, like mining. When you are digging, you take everything and then analyze. That will help us to contribute to his work, and he'll be able to help us more. Brain normally is recorded in like electricity. It's like electrical impulses we are recording, and they are measured in hertz. So, and the amplitude is the length, the height of the any wave. So one thing is like frequency, how fast they are moving, and how high they are going, the strength of it. So when I say delta is very high, it means the amplitude of delta is very high that time. Amplitude is there, delta is there, alpha is there, all the frequencies are there, all the time present, but who is stronger? So delta is very stronger that time, and gamma is very low that time. It means a person is sleeping. If I just see the graph, I say person is sleeping and brain is not processing anything. But right here, in front of me, a person is and talking and doing normal thing. Still, brain is producing like a shut down everything, not receiving and not processing anything. It's absolutely sthiti pragya. It's not processing anything. So this type of is completely cut off. You are isolated from the outside world, and if outside world can leave you for even a second, you will be something different certainly. Because since the time we take birth, we are always responding to outside world and storing. The moment we are cut off, we are much more than living and dead, both. It's something different. The waves are defined as processing speed. The slowest wave, like 4 times in a second, is the slowest one. 0 to 4 times is the delta wave. That's the slowest when brain is not processing anything. And when infant is born, he is having maximum delta in his brain. That's why he is sleeping 23 hours in 24 hours. So only because he is not processing any outside information. So that's the slowest wave. Then theta is like internal processing. You are not receiving things from outside, but internalizing, like creating something, daydreaming, and in active word that may say as absent-minded. You are here, but you are not here. You are not paying attention to. Then alpha is very relaxed and
that level which you said that internally thinking.
Internally thinking.
What was that in them?
It was high. Initially it was high. It was high initially. Then internal processing was going on. Because certainly a person is awake and aware, and she must be processing what all is going on here, the way we are processing.
So what I am saying, from outside information processing is not there.
Afterwards it was not there. Afterwards it was very high. The gamma was very high. Then the processing was not there, even internal. Initially it was high.
So after that internal also is not there.
No, not there.
So I can say when I give instruction, it goes and becomes internal. That is the time there was high. Then internal also becomes silent.
Yes. Then alpha is relaxed learning stage, where we are absolutely relaxed and learning new thing and processing. And then the beta or SMR, there's a faster, where you are processing a bit anxious, like you are learning, studying for the exam. So you are studying, you are paying attention, you are relaxed, but tomorrow is the exam. So a bit of anxiety is there.
What is where that how that shows?
Beta. In her? No, it was low.
Okay, there is no anxiety.
Initially all were high. It was all had gone for very high processing. Everything was high.
Okay.
Then after activation, after few seconds,
okay.
And then the gamma is completely, in our term we say it's like a complete brain activation, whole brain activation. The electricity is passing very fast. So either it happens only 2 times. It's like in psychology we say it's a aha moment when you are working on some solution and not getting the solution, problem, when you go to sleep. All of a sudden during sleep, you get into that gamma where you clue the information, oh, this was the solution. So that's a very high state of awakening, but it's a very gluing, so cut off from everything. Now I'm not processing. Door is closed and I got my solution. Gamma. 2 scenario. Gamma is for 2. Yes.
What is the waves of the waking state? Usually in everybody.
No, that may be hardly 10, 15. Amplitude of 15 to 20 is very normal.
In our case?
Hers is 45.
Wow.
It's 3
so
times.
Waking state.
Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah, even that. So I'm sure if it's not on body, I'm seeing this as disturbance. Pardon me for saying so. If it is jumping, she'll not be reading, she'll not be doing all that. If she does some task, I think the retention will be the highest.
Wow.
But then her body has to be settled.
Actually, as per Patanjali, this can very clearly say, I can declare her as enlightened publicly. See, that is what Patanjali means. Samadhi means this only. Nothing else.
So we just saw a wonderful presentation on the science of power manifestation. Now we'll be having some very special guests joining us, sharing their experience of receiving initiation from the Supreme Point of Hinduism and manifesting extraordinary powers. We just saw in this video how when the Supreme Point of Hinduism is initiating one of the disciples, Manitya Supriyananda Swami, her body is responding to the initiation, which can be detected through various tests such as the QEEG. Now there are various aspects which we just realize from this video. Number 1, whenever Swamiji is giving the instruction, the Supreme Point of Hinduism is giving the instruction to the disciple, there is a finite time gap where the brain is resisting the instruction, processing it, accepting it, and then only the change happens, which shows it is not hypnotism. It is conscious decision of the disciple to move in the direction of the Guru Vak. And then the conscious evolution happens and the Kundalini Shakti awakens. The power manifestation happens. We understood, we went through back in time, almost 250 million years. We saw how 5 great destruction happened over almost 500 million years and how various species altered their DNA, manifesting the power of consciousness over DNA, consciousness over matter. Bhagavan Krishna has revealed in Bhagavad Gita, my disciples will never perish. When we listen and follow the Guru Vak and open ourselves for the conscious evolution to happen, the power manifestation to happen, we become one of those species who survived these 500 million years of various calamities. If we are amongst the species who resisted, we are no more. Whether it be an amoeba or whether it be a human. Since millions of years, species, organisms have been manifesting various powers of Paramashiva and progressing to where we are. Now, we are at a junction where we have come to a stagnation and the evolution has stopped. Therefore, the avatar, our beloved Guru, the Supreme Point of Hinduism, has come down to give us the next conscious breakthrough in our evolution, reviving and revealing to us the lost understanding of power manifestation to give us a super conscious breakthrough. Now we'll be having some very special guests joining us. We have with us today Sri Gyanatmananda and Sterling and Dominic Walter joining us. So they'll be sharing their perspectives on initiation, power manifestation, and how Mahaparamashivoham is the ultimate way to experience the best of these possibilities. Thank you, Nithyananda.
Yes, Nithyanandam, thank you so much, Maharaj. So as we just saw in this video sharing the examination of the brain waves by the team of doctors as to what happens with the initiations from the Supreme Panava of Hinduism. So they're showing multiple different breakthroughs happening as a science. So the one doctor was sharing that if this impact could be given, if this initiation given, even 10% of people, it would be a great help to the society. To which Swamiji responds, Swamiji had stated that he can give it to anyone. And so this is exactly what we're seeing in the Paramashivoham and initiations and darshans. So the link on the screen is paramashivoham.org. So that is your place to enter your intention for you to experience this superconscious breakthrough yourself during the 21-day breakthrough program of Mahaparamashivoham, December 9th to 29th. So please click on to paramashivoham.org and enter your intention. If you have any question or request, you can also type it in the social media platform in which you are currently watching, and connect to events.kailasa.org on a daily basis to start the initiations from tomorrow. So, or today, depending on where you are. So let us hear now from some of the participants and the initiates of this superconscious mutation process, as Maharaj was sharing about the evolution of the species and how the superconscious impact gives a breakthrough to the DNA. So I'd like to welcome first to share his experiences and maybe a brief introduction, please, about yourself, Dominic. If you could just share with everyone a short introduction about yourself, please. Thank you so much.
Sure. Nithyanandam Sri Nithyananda, and Nithyanandam Sterling, Nithyanandam Nyanamaya Priyananda. Welcome everyone. Yeah, so I get to know Swamiji some years ago actually, and I used to start to search for solutions regarding health, wealth, and my own well-being because of some kind of a depression. And I came across some YouTube videos, and I started to get to be interested in Swamiji's teachings intensely, because all the knowledge and all the things Swamiji was sharing was making a lot of sense to me, because I was very much logic, and I'm still quite a logic person with a lot of logic. So yeah, that's basically my quick or my small introduction about myself, how I get to know about Swamiji. And yeah, so I'm following him since quite a while, and now we have the opportunity to also join this special Bhava Samadhi Darshan, which is a mirroring of our neurons directly with the avatar, with Swamiji himself, and which is a magical experience everyone needs to have at least once in their life. It's so special, and every moment is just unique. Every second and every situation we can be in the space of an enlightened guru and enlightened master. It's just incredible. Every time sitting there and just feeling that energy inside the lowest parts, inside the sexual energies, lower parts of the body, this Kundalini energy, and also this intense energy which fills your body, and also it's quite energy which makes you quite peaceful. So it's both in ones, like extremely high, makes you extremely high energetic, the space of Swamiji, but also it makes you much more peaceful and calm. And so yeah, that's basically my my sharings about the Bhava Samadhi Darshan so far.
Yes, this energy infusion. Thank you so much, Dominic. The Kundalini awakening from the root chakra that spirals up through the third eye on top of the head, which is the literal science of enlightenment, using, as Dominic had shared, see, this is exactly what is the sciences of Kama Sutra and yoga. So that when the sexual energies are awakened at the time of puberty, that instead of falling into addictions with those lower energies, and the lower moods, emotions of worry, fear, and lust, the yoga and the science of using that energy for enlightenment comes through the scriptures from Sanatana Hindu Dharma, how to turn that energy into enlightenment. So the creation energy is the strongest energy available and coursing through our body, arising through the root chakra. So how to use that though for enlightenment, not for the addiction. And so this is the sciences given to the people in which the Kama Sutra is frequently abused as some kind of sex book. Actually, this is the solution to our addictions that we see is rampant throughout the society. And so this science of the energy of the nadis and rising in a spiraling fashion from the root chakra, how to awaken these energies through various yogic practices and powerful cognitions to continue this enlightenment experience in us, to use the energy of life for enlightenment, not for that self-destruction as we see in the societies. So thank you so much, Dominic, for sharing this brief experience of the energetic Kundalini awakening during the initiations and darshans from the Supreme Pandava of Hinduism. And actually, so this is something, actually, Sterling, you had something to share about on a similar line of the energy infusion that happens, for example, during the recent Rudra darshans. And maybe you could just, again, just briefly introduce yourself and share your experiences as Dominic has about the initiations and darshans during the Paramashivoham and Mahaparamashivoham preparation.
Hello, Nithyananda. Sterling here. Super grateful for the opportunity to be speaking to everyone here today. Yeah, the darshans, like Swamiji did 11 different dimensions of Rudra. And as each one, as we kind of progressed, like I felt how each one was unique, what was happening inside of me, and even my inner space, any prayers that I was experiencing and like speaking to Swamiji, just kind of pouring it out. I can see even in his facial expressions, in his movements, and when he was like, making the mudras, the yantras, and how that space of oneness was really there. And even when, going to Dakshinamurti, Bhava Samadhi, like the contrast was so like unique. Like there was a super intense Rudra and then the super like calm, tranquil, like Dakshinamurti. And even in that, it was like I felt like Swamiji was speaking to me, but it was all silence. Like I just felt like, okay, I know what he's saying, even though there was this pure silence there. So the whole experience was so, as I clutch more, as I experience these more, and I don't resist the energy flowing up, I just kind of allow it to be. I can see the very subtle, dimensions are vastly different, infinitely different, but so beautiful at the same time. And it's hard to really explain. You just have to experience it and just kind of sit there with a very playful, curious mindset of, okay, let me just, whatever happens, happens. Let me not, feel like anything's bad or reject anything. When Swamiji's eyes land on us during darshan, he's like literally like working on us, like how he was making people levitate. Like it's just when we unclutch, when we just sit there, the unique Bhava Samadhis that he does, it works on us uniquely. Each one has its own effects on us, and in that experience of oneness, it's just so beautiful. We feel like, well, personally, I feel like I just feel so much more powerful, and how I am the source of everything that's happening within me and even around me. I just feel so much more confident, so much more clarity in understanding when it comes to manifestation. It's just with Swamiji's like initiations, you know, we can just go straight towards anything we want. He's going to be there to support us no matter like what is happening. If it's here inside of us, it needs to be fulfilled. As the energies rise up, it's like it's such a beautiful just like sweetness and heat and energy and everything in between of just like this is the full range of what I can be experiencing internally, and I don't need anything external to induce any of these feelings. It's just like pure feminine energy just like rushing through my body of okay, now I'm able to kind of flow with things a lot easier. I don't have to be so rigid and so stuck on this is how the experience needs to go, this is what I want to see happen. It's just kind of like here's my intention and let me just kind of flow with it and be unclutched. And it's like every darshan is just an upgrade. Like that's the best way I can explain it. It just I feel like every time it's giving me more and more inspiration and constantly reminding me like everything that I want to experience is here within me. I just it's those blind spots that he's removing through the darshans. Through these Baba Samadhi darshans, he's like removing all the blind spots and saying, hey, look, all the power is right here inside of you. Like just unclutch and just let the natural intelligence, the cosmic intelligence, to flow as it needs to. And it's just so amazing.
Yes, exactly. This is as the doctor was sharing in the video, saying like so Sterling was sharing about the experiences of the how the each darshan is different, and you know each one of us is different. That we know, and each one of us is a life energy, a consciousness embodying a different body. And so when these physical bodies die, the consciousness, the life goes somewhere else. So we already know that their life exists, disembodied consciousness exists. And so the conscious life energy exists in various bodies. And some of those bodies we cannot see, not only the human body, we see all the animal bodies, and there are many bodies, dimensions of life we don't know. The humanity is only introduced to these 3 dimensions. We know the length, breadth, and depth. And the next dimension of time, we don't even understand what is time. And beyond that, space. We don't understand what is space. So we have no concept of what is beyond that. These are the very sciences that are documented in the scriptures of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, from which Swamiji is directly referencing. This is the Shastra Pramanas that Swamiji specifically tells. He only gives the sciences that are specifically referenced in the Shastras, experiential truths called as pramana, only if it's revealed in Shastra and the scriptures and confirmed by previous enlightened masters, and in his experience also and his ability to give to others. Only then he teaches it. So acid wash to the ultimate degree. So these sciences revealed and verified over thousands of years by literally millions of beings, and verified by thousands of masters living and reproducing the science. So we see the various different experiences. As we each experience life differently, the deities, they are living much more alive than we are, and have much more power than us, and the ability to give us that experience. So the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the only tradition with a science for your body and mind of yoga, and the sciences of Ayurveda and Siddha, complete medical systems. So a complete and proven civilizational solution for every aspect, and only for the purpose of enlightenment and for everyone without discrimination. So we see the depth of the traditions of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And here Sterling is sharing about the differences that the Rudra, when Rudra comes, he is like the rejuvenation and the strong tyaga, dropping of all the patterns, basically. And whereas Sterling is sharing about the Dakshinamurti, how the intense silence comes, and and Sterling was sharing that he can see, or rather experience, something beyond words, beyond his understanding. And what Swamiji described is that the humanity hears only in a certain sound frequency. So the wave frequency, only the humanity can hear within that frequency range. Beyond that frequency, you cannot hear. The human ear does not detect. Swamiji said, it's not that Dakshinamurti's silence is without words, but it's at a higher frequency level than that. And the doctors specifically said that the gamma activity in the brain was measured at 1,000 times, not 1,000%, 1,000 times. She said, so if, for example, your hearing was increased by 2 times, we wouldn't have any idea what impact that actually has. So we're talking 1,000 times. So we always know that the humanity has the listening range in this specific frequency, and we talk about how the dogs can hear much better than the humans. So many times beyond that is what Sterling is experiencing during the initiation that brings an intense silence. So literally exactly what the doctor was talking about and that their machines were measuring, and the experiential impact, as Sterling is saying, I cannot describe it entirely, but there's intense silence. So actually sharing the experiential impact. So it's one thing to think about something or imagine a change that you want to have in your life. But to have that experience, it changes you now. So it gives you the change beyond words, beyond thinking and guessing what might happen to you. When you have the experience, it changes you on many different levels. So this is what we're seeing in the darshans initiations during the Paramashivoham and the Bhava Samadhi darshans. So just one more mention to everyone: to start your experience today, enter your intention at paramashivoham.org for you, yourself, your friends, families, loved ones. Paramashivoham.org. Make your strong statement that you're committing to having a breakthrough in whatever dimension you want, raising yourself and your loved ones. One other example about how this superconscious breakthrough happens. What is the experience and possibility that's actually happening now, today, every day? For many years, actually, as a gift from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the initiation into the superconscious mutation process. Maybe we could ask Dominic at this point to share. Dominic, you had a pretty incredible power manifestation experience just about 2 days ago, or maybe even yesterday, of being able to basically see across time and space through third eye and identify a number of items exactly as they were in another person's place who was presenting to you. Maybe could you share about that experience, please?
Yes. Well, I mean, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. I don't know, but it was one of the Bhava Samadhi Darshan's preparation program. So we always do this preparation where we have different power manifestations. We have different sessions led by an acharya, trained acharya from Swamiji, and they lead us through different tasks or power manifestations. And one of the power manifestation was to be able to do remote vision, right? And the amazing thing with that one was that I still had doubt that because I can't do it. I already tried it once and it worked slightly, but it doesn't really work. And so because we're almost 100 people inside this Zoom room, so we're all connected. And just by the power of connecting with all these people and manifesting this power through the third eye, so just watching through the third eye and actually seeing Swamiji and chanting the Mahavakya inside just for a few times, connecting with Swamiji, that's enough. Just asking Swamiji to reveal you what details or what's there in the location around on a certain person or from a certain person or from a certain participant. And so we were asked to go together in groups and to do this power manifestation together. And so I got to gather with some guy from Germany, and yeah, I was pretty stunned when I started to ask Swamiji about the details, and like I didn't even ask, so I was just immediately connecting with him because with the Mahavakya, with Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, and automatically I saw all these things. Like I saw automatically, it's not like HD, full HD TV, you can see everything, but you just see some things. And I could see clearly all these things, and I opened my eyes and I wrote down, and it was literally about 15 different things, a bunch of things in the apartment of this person. And I was able to manifest this power, and I was able to specifically tell the details of where this person lives, what's the room look like, where's the Amamurti in the room, where's the carpet and everything. And I was able to do this in detail, and everything was correct. And I was like, oh my god, how was I able to do that? That's like, I was even doubting like that I even manifested it. So, and no, I'm sure I manifested, obviously, but it was just yeah, it was amazing, yeah. So yeah.
Great. Yeah, and Dominic, like you're saying, it happens effortlessly, right? You're saying there was still doubt, and I wasn't feeling that confident, but just it clearly manifested.
Yes. 100%. No, I mean, there is scientific studies that has been done on the brain of Swamiji, and it has been shown that all these powers, they will have a certain impact on the brain, and they put the brain of that person in a different state, higher frequency. I think theta waves or some kind of a frequency. And when we go and start to manifest these powers, then we go into this state of consciousness or into this kind of frequency of the brain. And so this is not just like, it's not spirituality, it's actually science. So this is complete science, technology, how to manifest these powers. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. This is as called as the higher science. So we even have certain even chemical biological sciences in modern day with the modern medical systems. So this is higher science of the various dimensions of life. So the dimensions beyond just length, breadth, and depth, and the time dimension beyond this and that dimension we don't understand, and beyond that space we don't understand. So what about beyond that? We don't understand what we don't understand. This is what is literally the lived reality, the superconscious mutation. So this is thank you so much both for joining today and sharing your beautiful experiences.
Yes, thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having me on the share. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Nithyananda.
And so everyone watching, please connect to paramashivoham.org. It's possible for you, as we saw this sharing with the Balasants manifesting the powers also. Swamiji is bringing this as science because it's available to everyone. That is exactly why Swamiji is bringing these specific sciences, because he can reproduce it in anyone. And Swamiji said in the video, he can reproduce it in thousands of people simultaneously, which exactly is what we're seeing on a daily basis right now in the preparations for the Paramashivoham, which is December 9th to 29th. So just make your intention. Set your intention strong and take it beyond just a thought. Take it to action. to start the transformation in you by entering your intention in the paramashivoham.org link. Enter your intention and describe what it is that you want as a breakthrough, a benefit in your life and the life of the loved ones, and start reminding yourself of that intention and start taking action on it. So you can start the manifestation today. So thank you everyone for joining us. Let us now prepare to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for the Alive Satsang. So you can prepare by declaring what it is you want to manifest as your reality and visualizing that reality has already happened, and start chanting Mahavakya intensely. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Om Nithyanandeshwara Paramashivasamarambam Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shaktimadhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the Sarvanya Kartas, Yajamans, Manifestors, Sarvaparityahis, Mahans, Shri Mahans, Kotari Tanedar, visitors, viewers, Kayakalpa Yoga participants, Kailasa's e-Gurukul students, Kailasa